Cole Beasley might very well retire. The 2021 season will see 100% of Bills Mafia in the stands. And speaking of stadiums, the question about whether or not we're going to have a new stadium may have been answered. All coming up on today's edition of the WR Mafia Report. Yo ho ho, WR Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the WR Mafia Report, and we have a very exciting episode today. Particularly an episode that's probably going to raise a lot of our blood pressures, especially once we heard that Cole Beasley may be considering retiring due to the vaccination issue that he has with the NFLPA and the NFL in general. And then, of course, the new stadium talk and the fact that Bills Mafia is going to be at their capacity in Orchard Park in 2021. We're going to get into all of these stories separately, but as always, I do want to go on ahead and just give a couple of announcements. Number one, I am giving away either a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, announcing the winner on July 2nd, my 30th birthday. In order to enter, it's super easy. All you need to do is be a subscriber to this YouTube channel, screenshot proof of that, and then send the screenshot over to my Instagram DMs at RealDanMitchell. Follow me on there, and boom, you have been entered into the contest. A lot of you always hit me up. They're like, Dan, I'm not sure whether or not that you saw my entry. If you send it, you are entered. I have a giant spreadsheet, and I'm just going to be picking a random number out of a Google generator, and voila, that's going to be the winner. So sign up today. Number two, so many of you ask me, Dan, how can I support the channel? Well, let me tell you what. Best way to do it is simply by smashing the out of that like button. But just in case you ever want to go the extra mile, joining my YouTube channel via the join button or joining my Patreon is the next best way. You get a bunch of super cool benefits. Feel free to read up on those, and there you go. If not, it's completely fine. I am just thankful that you fools watch my content on a regular basis. Without further ado, let's dive into the stories. Now, starting off with the Cole Beasley retirement threat situation. So I'm sure that as long as you haven't been living under a rock, you understand that Cole Beasley is essentially the poster child of the NFL players who are refusing to get a vaccine. Now, when you look at the majority of organizations across the NFL in its entirety, a lot of them are approaching, I would say, above the 85% mark of overall players and personnel that are vaccinated. Most players are very timid of letting people know whether or not that they have been vaccinated or plan on being vaccinated, keeping it close to the vest, unlike Cole Beasley. Now, we've seen him participate not only one Twitter rant, but two. The most recent coming a couple of days ago, where Dude Man absolutely got berated by Twitter, which is definitely surprising because that is the most least toxic platform on the face of the planet. But after about 24 hours later, he ended up releasing this massive statement on his Twitter account. I'm not going to read it. I'm sure that there's been a bunch of videos dissecting exactly what he said. But essentially, he dove into the fact that he feels like he is healthy enough and he doesn't want to take the vaccine, and he would rather just build his immunity naturally and risk dying rather than being scared to live. Something along those lines. Now, a lot of you are probably waiting for me to give my take on this situation. It's not going to happen. You really think I'm trying to get canceled? I've been working my ass off, fool. But at the end of the day, one thing I will say is I feel like a lot of people berate Cole Beasley for having his own independent opinion. And I mean, you can think whatever you want about this whole vaccine situation. I mean, I'm vaccinated, so I mean, that's completely fine. But you know what I don't do? I don't go around and I don't abuse people on Twitter or yell at people for not being vaccinated, right? So as far as my take is concerned, I mean, I think that all the animosity he's getting, all the negative press that he's getting is a bit overboard. I mean, dude, let the man live his life. So at the end of the day, those are my thoughts on that situation. As far as him retiring, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen whatsoever. I think that really at the end of the day, he's just going to have to go through the protocols. He's in like the absolute prime of his career right now. He's going to be, and he realizes that the Buffalo Bills are on the verge of a Super Bowl. He mentioned in his statement that he doesn't want to do it for the money anymore. He has his money set up. But what he didn't mention is that he wants a damn ring. And I think that he's probably just going to be upset a little bit. He's going to go on a couple Twitter back and forths, but we will see number 11 donning his uniform per usual in 2021. Second story, Bills Mafia, baby. 100% capacity is allowed in the stadium. Now, this came after news where Erie County was just battling back and forth, and essentially saying that at first only vaccinated people were allowed in the stands. Then it went into vaccinated players can come in, but then non-vaccinated can come in. But the unvaccinated need to wear a mask, and people that were vaccinated need to show proof that they were vaccinated. Apparently, that is no longer the case. You are no longer required into showing proof that you were vaccinated, and if you are unvaccinated, I guess apparently they're just going off of the honor system, and you just need to wear a mask at the end of the day. But despite all the politics, what is good is the fact that in 2021, the Bills are going to have 100% capacity, and that makes me absolutely thrilled, especially since I plan on being up there for at least 2 games this year. And we will finally answer the question of whether or not Josh Allen can play with a 100% capacity stadium, and his 2020 season wasn't just due to the fact that it was quiet and he could be in his zen and really be able to concentrate across the rest of his games. But regardless, I'm super excited about that. I'm sure Bills Mafia is. Let's break some tables. Last story of the day. We finally have our answer. I feel like for years we've been talking about this on my channel, on several other Bills channels, several Bills forums. The stadium is finally being built, or at least it seems to be pretty much cemented in. A report just ended up coming out that the Buffalo Bills are planning on building a new stadium in Orchard Park. I'm sorry for everybody that was really looking forward to a downtown stadium. Unfortunately, I just don't think downtown Buffalo has the infrastructure to be able to withhold that many people going to a damn game at once, especially Bills Mafia. Are you crazy? It would be insane. But it looks like that the Buffalo Bills are going to be building a stadium right within the vicinity. In my opinion, they're saying Orchard Park, and I think that there's so many different tailgate lots, whether or not that it's going to be across the street. That's where I'm going to anticipate that the new stadium is going to be. Very excited about it. They're already putting out articles about what stadium the Bills are going to be playing at during the transition period. Someone said the Penn State Stadium in a couple of years. I think they're saying around 2026, 2027 is when we should expect this to be completely built, and the Buffalo Bills finally have a new home. The Pagulas, they are writing them checks, baby, making sure that our beloved Bills stay in Western New York where they damn belong. Dom Mafia, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. Do me a favor, leave your comment on any story that I just covered about your thoughts. I really want to hear them. And I will see you tomorrow. And before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.